Welcome back to Jake and Michael's house. I'm Michael and Jake is at work. It will not be joining us for this video. I'm working on the bathroom. I'll walk you through what I've already done, and then I'll walk you through a few things as I wrap up the last few things. Let's get started. So we're going to start with the ceiling. As you can see, I have painted the ceiling. I went to my local Lowe's and bought ceiling paint. And I literally just got paint that said for ceiling. And then I painted it with a normal roller. I didn't do anything special. The reason I did that was because I could see the three colors of paint this bathroom has been previously, and also the people who lived here before used tape on the edges, and never want to trash on anybody's work, but they weren't the best at edging. Let's see, leave it there. So definitely did the ceiling so it's nice and fresh. I did that first, and then I paint the gray. So that way you don't have to edge the ceiling. You can just slap it on there and be as messy as you need to be, get it all up in those crevices. This little vent, I did not change out the fan, but cool thing, I'm gonna climb up here real quick, real safe on the toilet and everything. If you look, there are these little clips. So you can actually squeeze it together and it just pops out, and you can buy a new cover. The cover was like $9, and let me tell you, the old one, it's disgusting. It was yellow and like 100 years old. So that definitely dressed it up. I also changed out this to make it look more modern. It's just an air vent. I ordered it from Amazon. Super easy. I actually have this is one that we kept from a different room because it was not really messed up, but I wanted them to match. So I got all new ones. But essentially this is the back of it. And if you take yours and you just measure it. So if you go from here, we have about 8 inches. And then here, about 10 inches. That is going to be the measurement for your new one. So these are 8 by 10 little vents. And it definitely, the one that was in here was rusted and was not awesome. So this new one really just adds that modern kind of look that we're looking for, and also just kind of cleaned it up in here. Next, I did this light. So if you look close, you can see that it's relative to the first one, it is a different color. It's the exact same light, but I took these pieces off and I actually spray painted them. So you just take this little light off, and a lot of bathrooms have these same common fixtures, so it's really going to be the same thing. Lightly pull this thing off. You can hold, if you put your finger on the edge of this black thing, push that black thing, and then pull these. You can even turn it, and then this comes off. You take all of them off, and then you can spray paint them. Side note, these are the types of spray paint I was talking about. So if you want to do more of a silver satin, it looks nicer, and the flat brushed amber is what we have in here. Much better than the metallic, but again, your preference. I also changed out the lights so they were all matching. You'll notice in that original photo that they had 4 of one kind of light and 4 of a different kind of light, and my OCD was going crazy. Tip there as well is let it dry. Let it dry for a good amount of time because you don't want your fingerprints in there. It'll also, you can't really get the texture out if you touch it too soon. Next, I changed out the hardware in the bathroom. So you can see that these are no longer awful gold. And the same with the doorknobs. I actually did it in the whole house. Very easy. As far as the hinges, do the middle one first. I would not take off the door to do the hinges. Do one hinge at a time. This one, put the new hinge on. This one, put the new hinge on. This one, put the new hinge on. Super easy. That way you don't have to have the door like flopping around. Handles. So we went with, of course, the same color. And I'm going to actually show y'all how to do a knob because I need to do 2 more. I am down here about to install these pulls. I don't know, levers, knobs, whatever you want to call them. I'm going to install them because we painted these and it'll look cooler. Obviously, it'll kind of like dress it up, kind of give it some ooh. And 2, it'll keep the paint from scratching. We did not sand them down. My suggestion would definitely be if you want to do something that's very lasting to go ahead and sand it down. But we really just want to do a facelift until that day comes where we're just going to rip this out and we'll do a full bathroom renovation. But in the meantime, we'll put knobs. So I have these. They're called jigs. You can also, on Amazon, it was called Cabinet Knob Pull Installation Template Guide. I also searched jig and this came up. So it was like $7 and it came with a drill bit, which is super awesome. You have one for corners and like that'd be more for the doors. And you have this thing that has an edge, which is very cool. So you can take it, put it on the drawer. You take your knob. You know that the knob is 3" because one, it says it on the package. If you want to double check, the inches are on this thing too. And you just line it up. As far as like, okay, where do you put it on the drawer? You could measure it. So it could be like 3.5, 3.5, perfect. And then we want it in this, I mean, we could do like, this one looks centered to me, so I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna mark. I'm a little Sharpie because everything else sucks, but that actually puts a mark so that way I know where I need to drill. I can see it here. They are even. And then I have my drill. And then we'll do the second one. I'm happy with that. So then put the screws. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. All right. And now we have an installed knob and it looks great. Before I do that second one though, something I would say is that you definitely want them to match. So I just do the same thing over. The thing to take into consideration, especially when you're doing doors, is that the doors are not always the same. So you want to line the knobs with each other and not the actual door, because you might have them slightly off and that never looks good with knobs. So let me get this done. So now you can see the knobs have been installed. I just used our Dyson to clean up the mess from the handles. And I will say that I hardly use this because Jake tends to vacuum all the time. But this thing is freaking amazing. And if you haven't checked out our Dyson video, go check it out. But on the real, awesome, awesome tool. I'm about to show y'all some edging. And the thing I want to point out about the edging is a lot of people like to tape. And like, more power to you if that is something that you enjoy doing. I find that it is very difficult, it's time consuming, and the result is also not that great. I find that any texture that gets in there, you might have the glopping and you're like trying to lay down the tape and it's not great. There's definitely things that tape's great for, like patterns and stuff like that, but I would definitely say that edging is not where tape is done. I have these brushes. This one's an example. So we have these types of brushes just for getting in crevices. They also come angled. This one's not angled. Awful for edging. Maybe somebody's good at it. I've painted a lot of rooms, not good at it. They suck. I have this one here. It costs $1. It is like the best brush ever. They do shed sometimes, which is not great. But they are amazing for edging. Take it, I'm gonna kind of get up to this edge and I'm gonna just make sure I'm right on that edge. You can kind of like do some practice, like maybe not get all the way up to the edge and then go ahead and just go for it. Like, get up there, steady hand. I have a very shaky hand because I like to drink coffee, but so if you don't have a steady hand, don't worry about it. You're using the wall as your guide, so just get right up there and just try to make it. So Jake made it home from work and I've still just done the edging here.
Looks immaculate.
Yes. You have any tips for painting?
Buy enough paint so that you always have the same color. And be patient. Stop painting when you start slopping it on the wall.
That is a very good one. Right towards the end of the edging, I definitely was like, I'm tired. So,
but it looks great.
Paint and patch. This is just like some little filler stuff. Like, for example, the door has hit the wall and it caused this little divot. So all I did was I took some, put it on my finger, wiped it over. What I would say is don't let it get in the surrounding area, like wipe that off with a towel. So that way the texture of the wall stays consistent, and you can even like dab your finger on the white part just to kind of give it a little bit of texture, so that way the imperfection doesn't stand out. For my last coat, I'm actually going to use a small roller just because it is a small space. The actual roller I'm using, I just followed the directions on the roller thing. So it says like for smooth surface, for semi-rough surface. This has a texture, so definitely going to use the one with a little bit more padding. So the like semi-textured. Not the really textured one, because that one just kind of slops paint everywhere. We have our finished product here. Everything's had time to dry and we placed everything back to the way it will be as we live on the daily. So you walk into the bathroom, you have, of course, a little black picture frame. You can see the edges are all done, all nice and clean. And again, if you look really close, it's not super duper perfect, but nobody is gonna come in and look close. They're gonna look at it like this, which to the eye looks amazing and all complete. I paired this shower curtain with it because it tied the dark gray in. It brought white into the room because the dark color kind of you know, makes the room feel small. So definitely did the lighter, pulled in the gray at the bottom. We needed something for our laundry, so found a little basket at Target, of course. The knobs are all there, so nice and easy to open up all of the cabinets. This little holder was here when we moved in, but love it, adds some character and color to the room. We replaced these covers, so super nice. Next we'll do the sink, and we'll make that a separate video, but we'll replace it in both of our bathrooms. And we'll change the knob on the toilet as well. Super easy fix. I changed all the fixtures as well. So just follow the instructions. You buy these, like, depending on how nice you want them, $10 to $30 a fixture. Follow the directions, make sure it's straight. And if you mess up, you can always redo it. So trial and error with everything. In the end, have a nice clean cut bathroom. If you're OCD like me, I made all of the filaments the same, so that way it gave a nice uniform look in the bathroom. So here at the end, I'm just going to add a little bit of a comparison. So I did something very similar in the upstairs bathroom as to the lower bathroom as well. So just so y'all can see, I swapped the colors of the bathrooms but did the exact same thing. So a little bit of a different look, a little bit lighter. Check it out. You can see we did the light gray on the walls. We tried to do a little bit more color in this one. So we did the blue shower curtain. We have the, you know, white. We did the dark blue. It looks blue, kind of, but it's also just gray. And then, of course, gray here as well. And we did the same thing with the light here. Just keeping it cost effective. Replaced the vent. Replaced the other vent. Painted the ceiling. Added knobs. Changed the fixtures. And again, still need to change the toilet and the sink, but we'll do that in a separate video. That's it. See y'all next time.